Yo, what up, No Name fans? This is Courtney back with a new episode of the NoName Football Show, and we got some potentially groundbreaking news. First of all, director of football, don't kill me, but I'm gonna butcher his name. Patrici. He's been busy wheeling and dealing over the last week. Looks like we was gonna sign Jules Koundé, the standout defender from Sevilla. He said he didn't want to come, even though we had reached an agreement with Sevilla on a fee and everything. But he said, nah, I want to stay in the Champions League and not play in the Europa Conference League. So what do we have next? We signed a goalkeeper from Atalanta yesterday. It's a loan deal with the obligation to buy after the season. Then looks like everything was starting to heat up. And it was like, oh man, standout Argentinian defender Christian Romero, who also plays for Atalanta, is going to be coming to Spurs. They've already agreed to personal terms, and it looks like they're working out a deal with Atalanta for a 55 million euro purchase. Then I jump on Twitter around 6 p.m. I see a tweet not only from Last Word on Spurs, but also the City Extra Twitter account saying that Daniel Levy has done a complete 180 and is going to allow Harry Kane to leave as long as Manchester City meets the 160 million pound transfer fee. But apparently Harry Kane was standing up in his brother's wedding. His brother is his agent. He got that news. You know, he actually spoke to Daniel Levy, said he would, he did a U-turn, man. So it looks like if Man City ponies up the cash, they'll have Harry Kane. And as a Spurs fan, it's going to break my heart. But I'm also an American. So the way American sports works is if you got a star, and especially in the NBA, if you got a star, somebody wants them and is willing to take that contract off your hands, which is a little different in football because it's not like the contract is just going to be an infusion of cash from Manchester City if they decide to pony it up. But if you're rebuilding or retooling, as Joe Dumars used to famously call it, you trade away a high contract and you bring in more assets with that money that was vacated from that contract. Now, I said a couple episodes ago, I think the thing with Harry Kane to do is to sell him, especially if we get $100 million and a player in return from Manchester City. Sell him. Hey, that's money that could be used to strengthen the squad. Bring in another striker that's not going to cost you $100 million. Plus, we got young Dane Scarlett training with the first team. Jose Mourinho tipped this kid to be a star. He did make his first team appearance last season. I believe he's 17. But apparently, we already got Harry Kane's replacement, who's just maybe a few years away. Also, the Man City Extra Twitter account also reported that, hey, Harry Kane is available for Manchester City if they want to buy. Therein lies the issue. Manchester City has never spent that much on a single player before. I believe the most Manchester City has spent on one player was Kevin De Bruyne, and they bought Kevin De Bruyne for, I believe, 71 million euros from Wolfsburg. I'll have to check the numbers. But that's the big issue. Yeah, Harry Kane's available to leave, but is City going to pony up all that money for Harry Kane, plus pony up more money for Jack Grealish? Because we know Pep loves Jack Grealish. City is really in for Jack Grealish. Looks like Aston Villa has probably come to terms with the fact that, hey, man, even though Jack Grealish is our captain, he's a Aston Villa boy through and through. Move on to greener pastures. But imagine what Aston Villa now be able to do with that infusion of cash from selling Jack Grealish. I believe they have the third richest owner in the Premier League, so they have money to spend. So now that'll just give them more money to spend, and they can retool. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at somebody like Matthias Pereira from West Bromwich Albion, the Brazilian baller. So That's some news. What a day of news, potentially. Could see Harry Kane leaving. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pour one out for young Harry. But man, also, it looks like Everton, speaking of Harry, Everton is in on Harry Winks. Looks like he's been evaluated at 25 million euros or pounds. I'm pretty sure it's pounds. So we'll see where that goes. Another Tottenham boy through and through, man, Harry Winks. Was kind of frozen out under Jose Mourinho. Did suffer some injuries last year. Kind of lost his place in the England squad. So, what an exciting development, man. Got a goalie, potentially Hugo Lloris's replacement. Because listen, man, Hugo is not getting any younger. He's 34 years old. He has 1 year left on his deal. Then, man, potentially Christian Romero, who won the best defender of the year in Serie A last year. That means he was voted higher than Inter Milan center backs or defenders, AC Milan center backs. You know what I'm saying? Juve's defenders. You know what I'm saying? He was rated number 1. That's a really good get. He's young. He's good on the ball. He's pacey. Look at me using all these words, you know what I'm saying? Pacey. So anyway, man, this looks like it might be a really good day, a really good week for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Arsenal has also been making some moves, making some signings. They finally re-signed Emile Smith-Rowe to a new contract today, and they gave him the number 10 shirt. So no longer will that number 10 shirt be, you know, you'll see that number 10 for Arsenal and think Mesut Ozil. Now you'll see number 10 and think Emile Smith-Rowe. And that's great for Arsenal because, you know, clubs were snooping around Smith-Rowe this offseason, waiting to see if he was going to sign that contract. Maybe they could scoop him up for like 25, 30 mil. I do believe that West Ham actually put in a couple bids for Emile Smith-Rowe, and they were all turned down. So Arsenal's been doing pretty good business this transfer window. You see, I got the Arsenal kit somewhere. Like I told you, you know, I got the updated bruised banana joint. It's really fresh. That's why I bought it. You know. What else we got going on? Oh, Chelsea has kind of been relentless in their pursuit of Erling Haaland, even though Borussia Dortmund has like maintained all along, yo, we're not going to sell him. We're not going to sell him. We're not going to sell him. But imagine if Roman Abramovich like, hey, do it. And they say, hey, Dortmund, we got 150 million euros for you. Let us get our boy a year early, because the big thing with Haaland is he has a release clause that's rumored to be around 65, 75 million euros. So at that point, next season, it's a bunch of clubs that'll be, you know, snooping around trying to get that, you know, pay that release clause. You'll have Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United, Barcelona, Real Madrid if they got money. Probably not Bayern Munich probably not Bayern Munich, but Juve. All the big clubs in the world will be going after Erling Haaland if that release clause is about 65 million euros. Because, I mean, that's for that guy, that's chump change. So Chelsea has been pushing really hard to sign him, and maybe they give Dortmund an offer that they can't refuse. Maybe they give Dortmund, because the rumors were that they did the first bid included either one of Tammy Abraham or Callum Hudson-Odoi. Imagine if Chelsea calls up Borussia Dortmund like, hey, listen, bro, we got 125 million euros plus not one player, 2 players. You know, you can have your pick. Take your pick. You could have Tammy Abraham. You could have Callum Hudson-Odoi. Don't want to send Pulisic back. You could have Timo Werner, who rumors are starting to surface that he probably fancies a move away after 1 year. You could have Ross Barkley. And here's the thing. Dortmund's in the Champions League every single year. So even if those players were to, you know, move from Chelsea to Dortmund, they'll still have Champions League football. You know, that's what everybody wants, Champions League football. So, man, you got some, I'm excited because the transfer window is starting to heat up. Can't wait, man. PSG, first of all, they have been, I don't understand what's up with Keylor Navas and why he continues to be disrespected. He was a baller for Real Madrid, and they was like, nah, we want Thibaut Courtois. And brought in Thibaut Courtois and just was like, oh, no, sit you on the bench. Oh, no, PSG wants, we'll just give you the PSG. Balled out for PSG in the Champions League, you know. And then PSG signs Gigi Donnarumma. And it's like, you know, what gives if you're Keylor Navas? If I'm him, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to bounce because I just, you know, I was balling last year. You know what I'm saying? We almost won the Champions League. I was great. And y'all brought in another goalkeeper. This is the second time it happened to me. So I'm looking, if I'm Keylor Navas, I'm looking to just go somewhere where I don't have to worry about that, especially good performance after good performance after good performance. I don't have to worry about getting benched because, you know, y'all got money happy and saw a guy and brought him in ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Especially after I've proven that I'm a good goalkeeper. A great goalkeeper, even. Some may say he's probably a top 10 goalkeeper in the world. Let's see. CJ, who we got goalkeepers? We got Manuel Neuer. That's my son I'm talking to. It's my cameraman. Manuel Neuer. Marc-Anthony Ter Stegen, got Jan Oblak, you got Thibaut Courtois. If you want to throw Alisson and Ederson in there, you know what I'm saying?
I might actually put Navas up.
Man, I would definitely, that would make him, you know what I'm saying, by my count, that would make him a top 7 goalie. You know what I'm saying? In the world. So it's like, what gives, you know? But we'll see what happens. PSG is sniffing around Man United, trying to get Paul Pogba for about $50 million because he's in the last year of his deal. And apparently United want to re-sign him, but they don't want to re-sign him at like $400K a week. That's a lot. That would make him by far the biggest wage earner at the club. Way higher than David De Gea. I mean, but do you want to commit all that money to Paul Pogba long term when he's been injured? The system that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays doesn't fit him. So do you want to commit all that money for Pogba or sell him, get some money, throw Danny Van Der Beek in there, you know, maybe buy somebody else because you got Bruno, you got Scott McTominay, you got Fred, who's decent, you got Van Der Beek, you know. They can't necessarily do the things that Pogba does on the pitch, but they stay healthy and they play. And Pogba hasn't been able to do that in the last 2 years. So I'm gonna come on. Next episode, I'm coming with a full, comprehensive transfer window overview. But now I'm about to switch gears real quick. I'm gonna talk a little hoops. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. Winning the NBA championship, Giannis, beast. Straight up and down. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And he's probably one of the most likable players. He might be the most likable player in the NBA, man. I love that guy. We went from watching Giannis taste smoothies for the very first time because watching him, we've watched this kid grow up in America, excuse me, learn the culture, you know, smoothies, you know what I mean? And so he put on a 50-piece to close out game 6. A 50-piece. Going along with 2 other 40-point games in the finals. And he absolutely dominated. After Phoenix looked like they were going to just take Milwaukee to the cleaners. After game 2, they didn't win another game. Milwaukee won the series 4-2. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, you know, NBA Central Division. NBA draft is next Thursday. Pistons. I said it before a couple episodes ago. All of Pistons Twitter has been screaming it. Make the simple choice. take Cade Cunningham. I don't care who's offering you what. I don't care if Golden State offers James Wiseman number 7 and 14 and Klay Thompson. I don't care if OKC offers number 6 and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and one of those other 75 draft picks they have this year. I don't I don't care if Cleveland wants to offer us number 3 and Colin Sexton. I don't care what Houston has to offer us. Stay at number 1. Take Cade. We were fading for Cade all last season. We got it. It's the number 1 pick. We've been blessed by the lottery gods finally. The Red Wings, we see, first of all, we see what's happening with the Red Wings. They finished with the worst record in all of hockey the last 3 years and have picked no lower than 6th, So that didn't happen to us. Finally, we got the number 1 pick. Take the consensus number 1 guy. And you know what? In Troy, we trust. I believe that's what Troy Weaver's going to do. In Troy, we trust. But earlier this week, there was a big discussion on Twitter. Rashad Phillips, Detroit legend, east side of Detroit, Ferndale High School grad, stayed home to play college basketball, UOD Mercy. My mom got her graduate degree from UOD Mercy. So I know the school. It's in the hood, 6 Mile. Rashad Phillips, who has proven to be a great talent evaluator after basketball. And one of the things that NBA Twitter, some of the people on NBA Twitter do that kind of like wind me up is the fact that they will take the one time a guy might have been wrong or missed on something and just blow it up. Like he can never, do anything good ever again. So if you hang around the NBA Twitter circles, you know that a couple years ago, Rashad Phillips was like, hey, Trae Young is better than Luka Doncic. And he didn't even really rate Luka Doncic, He was like, oh, man, he's big, slow European guard. He could do a couple things, but he's not Trae Young. He doesn't have that magnetism. I mean, he was shown to be wrong. Luka is one of the young faces of the NBA. I believe he got some MVP votes this year. But, he was wrong on Luka. And so all these cats on basketball Twitter just don't let him forget. So I'm going to bring up the tweet because here's the thing. I know exactly what he was talking about. Here's something. I am 40 years old. I'm from the west side of Detroit. I grew up playing ball on the blacktops, on the playgrounds, in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So, posted a tweet in which he said that there are basketball players and there are hoopers. Here's his definition. A basketball player excels under the confinements of the game. They're driven to play the game more strategically. A hooper is a player that excels outside of the confinements of the natural rules. They're more instinctive, which makes for more of a freedom player. And you know what? He gave a couple of examples of basketball players. Tim Duncan, Klay Thompson, Giannis. Hoopers, Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose, Kevin Garnett, Allen Iverson. I know exactly what he means because growing up, when you was in, on the playgrounds, you knew the guys that were hoopers and who weren't. But like, you knew those basketball players, and when they came up to the court, usually might have had their shirts tucked in or something, maybe had on team gear. Super fundamental, probably out there busting somebody's ass. But they had no swag at all. And I think like the hooper is a swag. So think about Neymar. Neymar would be considered a hooper. A lot of most Brazilians would, because they play with flair. They have the fundamentals, but they play with flair. They make the game look fun. They make it look sexy. Think Ronaldinho, So I was trying to think of some guys, who are some, we'll go with Rashad's term. Some hoopers or or some ballers. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Hoopers or footballers. So get a guy like, let's go back to the midfield earlier. Paul Pogba, because he plays with flair. He has the technical ability, but because he plays with flair, he plays with a certain swag about him. Paul Pogba would be considered a hooper. Jordan Henderson. See him on the pitch. Most times you barely notice he's out there, but he's good, machine-like, efficient, makes all the right plays every single time, never tries to do too much. He would be considered a footballer, or he would be under the basketball category in this case. I'm trying to think. So then he said that there are rare individuals that can do both. And so in this context, I think that Lionel Messi would be the guy that could do both. Because you see how Messi plays with flair. Messi, you know what I'm saying, he'll tap dance all on you, you know, but his fundamentals are so sound. So sound. And so I was thinking about some other guys that, you know, I would put in the, you know, the baller, or the hooper category, and just the footballer category. You look at somebody like, you know, like Robert Lewandowski. He's a machine, a goal-scoring machine. And it's funny because not a lot of strikers like nowadays really have a lot of flair. But Robert Lewandowski is a machine. He is, you know, efficient at what he does. He's always knows the exact place to be, proper place, all that. Harry Kane the same way. They would be considered under the basketball category. But take somebody like Ronaldo. Ronaldo was a guy who could do both because, man, young Ronaldo, he was doing step overs left and right, using his speed and his quickness to just bow and just break somebody down. But now, the older he's gotten, the more and more, because he's a machine as well. Cristiano Ronaldo and LeBron James are like the two guys in their sports. And Tom Brady, too. I can't forget Tom Brady. Just won a Super Bowl at 45 years old. Those three guys, they are machines. They pay so much attention to their bodies, what they're putting in their bodies, what they're doing to their bodies as far as like exercising and stuff like that. So they would just be machines. And they're like the outliers to me. So to me, like Ronaldo, you can't necessarily put in a category because he's not as technical as Messi. He doesn't have like the natural ability that Messi does. Because I think when they're 50 years old, Messi will still be able to just stop the ball on a dime, ping a ball, you know, top right, you know, top left corner with like it's nothing still at 50. I think Ronaldo, if he, you know, doesn't continue to work on those skills, not saying they'll deteriorate, but they won't be as sharp, you know. So I look at somebody like take Bruno Fernandes, for instance. I don't really want to, because I don't like Bruno Fernandes, I gotta be honest. He's a crybaby and he's a penalty merchant. So Neymar, hooper, most definitely. Raheem Sterling, hooper, most definitely. Before all the injuries caught up with him, Eden Hazard, hooper. Footballers, man, you got like, man, who on the wing is not sexy and just efficient? Trying to think of some guys because it seems like all the guys that are wings have a lot of flair, man. But it's, you know, that's why it's kind of hard to break down some guys in the categories. Like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't necessarily say like Lukaku plays with some sauce. He plays with some swag. I wouldn't necessarily say he would be under the hooper category though. Really technical guys, man. Like Angel Di Maria, hooper. And it's like the goal he scored in the Copa America final. It's just like, it was, you know, sauce. You know, had the sauce all over him, dripping. So I was trying to just add to the conversation, see how I could, you know, take that and turn it into soccer specific context, because there's a lot of ballers out there. Let's see, like, you know, the German guys, the English guys, though they're more like they're more like footballers, you know. And not all the England, you know, all English guys, because, you know, Sterling, Eberechi Eze, you could probably even throw Phil Foden in there, because Foden plays with some sauce. Jack Grealish is really saucy, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at somebody like James Madison, not really sauce. No sauce at all, really. Jamie Vardy don't have no sauce. He's just really fast. But, I mean, he's really good, but, you know, he's fast. He doesn't have sauce. He doesn't play the game with sauce. But, man, pick a Brazilian. They gonna have sauce. You know, guys from South London got sauce. Sancho, saucy. So yeah, man, let me know down in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Give me some parallels. Who do you think are, you know, guys with sauce, the hoopers, and, you know, who are just, you know, just the regular workman-like efficient footballers. But anyway, man, follow me on Twitter at Football No Name. Just subscribe, like, share this with all your friends. Thanks for watching. Next week, like I said, we're going to have a big, you know, transfer roundup for the time being, because August is next week. So yeah, we're going to have a until August type of transfer roundup. And I'm going to talk about the NBA draft, because my Detroit Pistons have the #1 pick. And the last thing I'm going to say, man, hey, make the simple decision. Make the simple decision. Draft Cade Cunningham. And don't think about nothing else. All right, Detroit, do that. Make the fans happy. Restore greatness to a once proud franchise. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, this week. Remember, NoName Football on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. You know, let me know, like I said, down in the comments, you know what I'm saying, who you guys categorize as a hooper or a baller. You know what I'm saying? Who got the most sauce? Or who's just like, you know, hey, a football robot. You know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know on Twitter at Football No Name. And until next week, peace.